This is Peter Erskine. I just watched the video submission from KLOPEZ, who's a student at Cal State University, Northridge. And I'm always happy to see and hear jazz from Cal State U at Northridge, because the program has historically been such a great jazz program, such a strong one, and so important to the jazz community in Los Angeles, Southern California, indeed the whole world. So congratulations on being part of such a tremendous program. You're getting a new teacher there this year, Professor John DeVersa, who we just lost at the University of Southern California. So you're all very lucky to have John there, and he has a new CD out that's pretty great. I was just listening to it yesterday. Anyway, to the subject at hand. I enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry I don't know the drummer's name. Sounded very good. One of the great things was that the tempo remained the same, and that's no small deal. It was good forward motion. The time never slowed down. And so the tune was in good stride all along. A comment in general for the entire band, and the soloist is playing an instrument that requires breathing, but he was taking quick breaths. I didn't get a sense of breath in the music. It was just a lot of da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Lot of notes. Egged on, or maybe he inspired, but anyway, the net result, pianist is doing a lot of comping activity, and the drums didn't want to miss out on all that good fun. The combined effect is that the music is very crowded, and it doesn't really get a chance to coast, to soar, to really go too many more places than kind of where it is. So it sort of sits there, and my sense as a listener, and perhaps your senses as players, is that you feel like you hit a wall. Less is more. When you choose your vocabulary with a bit more care, a bit more thought, precision, a bit more restraint, you wind up saying a whole lot more. This is true not only for the principal soloist, but for the accompanying instruments as well. Now the bass is walking, so he's doing what he should be doing. Drums and piano, try playing less. I've come up with something I call the comping game, where you make very specific choices, and because of these restrictions and the number of notes you can play, you usually wind up coming up with new combinations. So anyway, in a minute and a half example, it's hard for me to really tell what kind of dynamic variations were going on. Drums, I enjoyed the fact that a couple of times at the end of one phrase or beginning of the next, you did take advantage of playing on the and of four as opposed to landing square on the downbeat. I'm not exactly sure who your influences are. Sometimes I like to be able to tell, and don't be afraid to let those influences show, whether it's Philly Joe Jones or Art Blakey or Elvin Jones or Roy Haynes, whoever. So my main advice again would just be to put a little more breath into playing, and I'll put a little more breath in my comments now and shut up. Thanks for the opportunity.
And one of your main influences should be right here.
No, listen. You know what? If you do listen to some of the younger crowd, I may not look like the younger crowd these days, but listen to the folks we listen to, because they're the people who really created the language.